The screw pump, the oldest positive displacement pump, originated in Egypt before the 3rd century BC, with the water screw lifting water from the Nile using tubes wound around a cylinder. Some researchers propose its use in irrigating the hanging gardens of Babylon. Archimedes later described the screw pump during his visit to Egypt, though he did not claim credit for its invention, leaving it to be attributed to him by Diodorus, an ancient Greek historian who believed that Archimedes invented the screw pump in Egypt. So, it became known that Archimedes introduced the world to the ingenious Archimedes screw. But that was just the beginning of the screw's rich history. Fast forward to the 1400s, where screws started emerging as fasteners and the first documented use of screwdrivers came to light. Even though it had very limited use because of its complexity, it was still a pivotal moment in history, marking the beginning of a tool that would become indispensable in our lives. In the 15th century, screws found application in the construction of screw-cutting lathes and played a small but crucial role in securing breastplates, backplates, and helmets for medieval jousting armor. Over time, screws became integral components in various parts of emerging firearms. While this was another great leap in technological advancement in the realms of armor and early firearms, their use was still limited. The intricate spiral helix of the screw posed challenges, making them a rarity due to primitive machining technology. In 1770, Jesse Ramsden, an English instrument maker, created the first successful screw-cutting lathe, influencing subsequent inventors. 1797, Henry Maudslay, another Englishman, revolutionized mass production with his large screw-cutting lathe. And in 1798, American machinist David Wilkinson contributed to the mass production of threaded metal screws with his innovative machinery. The late 1800s saw significant advancements in machining techniques, enabling screws to become a viable option on a large scale. With the Industrial Revolution's engineering breakthroughs, screws became practical for widespread use. But there was still much to be improved. The standard slotted head would often cause people to slip out of the slot, which would slow down manufacturing time and lead to increased injuries. The old slotted head design was in much need of an upgrade. Then, a man came along in 1909, Peter L. Robertson. The square drive screw, pioneered by Robertson, marked a revolutionary shift. This innovation addressed the challenges posed by slotted screwdrivers, preventing slippage, reducing production line inefficiencies, saving time and money. Manufacturers quickly embraced Robertson's designs, with companies like Ford relying on the efficient screws and driver for automobile production, significantly reducing assembly time. Ford was actually one of Robertson's first customers. The early 20th century Model T car, made by the Ford Motor Company, used over 700 Robertson screws. Henry Ford attempted to secure a licensing agreement with Robertson. Since Ford's products heavily utilized Robertson's patented screw design, his primary concern was ensuring the continued availability of the fasteners. But Robertson, nervous from all of his previous experiences when others tried to take his inventions, was unwilling to relinquish his patent rights. Ford needed to find an alternative to Robertson's design, not only because he could not reserve the patent rights, but also the Robinson screw had a couple drawbacks. It required multiple drivers for all different size screws, and because of how tight the lockup would be, it was common to over-torque the screws. Seizing on this window of opportunity, in Portland, Oregon, Henry F. Phillips patented his improved deep socket with a cruciform slot, giving birth to the Phillips screw. The Phillips design was much more user-friendly and would prevent the possibility of over-torquing. After a successful trial on the 1936 Cadillac, Phillips offered his invention to the American Screw Company, and it rapidly gained popularity across the American auto industry. The Phillips screw's widespread adoption during the Industrial Revival and World War II solidified its status as the most popular screw globally, offering versatility with the ability to use conventional slotted screwdrivers, a feature absent in the Robertson screw. Phillips addressed the need for a user-friendly alternative that securely held screws during turning and prevented over-torquing, ultimately making the Phillips screwdriver a groundbreaking invention of the 20th century. Not much changed until 1967. The introduction of the Torx driver marked a significant shift in screwdriver technology, designed to prevent the driver from camming out or popping out intentionally, a common issue with Phillips drivers. Initially used to deter tampering, the ubiquity of the Torx driver led to the creation of security Torx, tamper-proof one-way screws and other types. The last 100 years have seen a surge in practicality for screwdrivers and screws, addressing specialized jobs and diverse needs. All the way from a new way to transport water to almost all of our everyday items, the invention of the screw and its breakthroughs throughout history has dramatically shaped our world into what it is today. Throughout history, there are moments in time that will shape all of our futures. Here on Tools Through Time, we take a deep dive on those moments in tool history. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.